All right, nephew, how you doing, man?
Mm. What's going on, Unc? I'm all good. I'm all good. Getting pumped up for this 2023 season. We down to the 53 man roster. We preseason's over with. We got to see some good things, man. Now we get this little week off for our guys to get ready, and I'm pumped for the season opening. How
I'm
you feeling?
pumped,
How you
man.
feeling?
Hey, we need to take some green and gold and smear it all over the ground and make it green, gold, and red. We need to hit them hard, make them bleed, man. I may be a little excessive there, but we got to do it.
It happens. It's football. It happens. Yeah, you're right, and I think we'll come out strong. I'm looking forward to us winning our division this year. So opening up against the Packers, who of course is our rival, we want to get that W no matter what. But hey, I'm just looking for us to come out and beat all these teams in our division, and this is gonna be the way to kick it off. So I'm excited about it. So what are you thinking? What have you thought about the moves for the 53 man roster? What have you thought about some of the ads and drops?
It was tough. It was tough, but here's and I don't think we didn't have 90 guys that should be on the roster. Okay,
Absolutely,
there were camp bodies out there, but
absolutely.
we had a few guys, Travis Gibson, Nasimba Webster, guys like that who even who deserved to be picked up. Doris Fountain,
Yeah,
and some of those guys got picked right up. And that's starting to be a different thing where other teams want guys we cut. That's a difference from where we've been. We had gotten to the point where if you weren't in our starting lineup, you might not be wanted by anybody.
right.
I think that's huge growth for us. It's huge growth. What do you think about this offense, man?
I like it, and I to harp on what you were just speaking about. I'm absolutely with you on that. We didn't have 90 plus guys that deserve to be on a team, but that's definitely a positive trend, and I'm glad they've been able to correct that because you don't want to say, hey, the guys we have as backups or the guys on our bench, or even sometimes some of the starters, it's like you're not wanted by any other team. So it begs the question, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Because most of the people in the world, like such as myself, I like football. I'm not valued by any NFL team. So it's like you can put me on the Bears, but we don't want guys like that. We want guys that are actually good players that are valuable to the game that could be good on any team. And we're finally getting there. We're finally getting there. Um,
Excellent.
the offense, I'm excited, man. Something I was really happy to see was the backup QB slot being taken by Bajan. So it says we got here Bajan and Fields as our quarterbacks, and I was happy about that. I like the other guy, but I feel like Bajan looked more comfortable out there. I liked a lot more of what I saw from him, and I think him being the backup to Fields, I think is great. I think he's the guy to
You
have.
know, he was the Division II record holder for both yards and touchdowns. And I kind of feel like when he was out there, he looked like or gave me the impression that he's thinking, I've never thrown the ball to such great receivers. He was playing with a bunch of Division II guys, and no
Right,
offense to Division II guys, but most of them aren't gonna make it in the NFL or even get asked to play in the NFL.
right.
They might be camp bodies, but he was out there proving that he is a true NFL talent.
Right. And you know, and that's a great story. I mean, not just for him, but just for the game. You know what I mean? That's really what it's about. So we want to have guys out there like that can produce, and it's a great story for him. But absolutely, absolutely, I can only imagine how he feels out there now with DJ Moore and Mooney and Claypool, and even some of the backup guys, even like you said, some of the camp bodies. I'm sure were more talented than what maybe he's seen over his collegiate
For
career.
sure, for sure. So he's throwing to these guys that are far and above what he had.
Right.
Of course, he feels comfortable. He's like,
Right.
wow, it
Right.
doesn't get better than this.
Right.
And, the other thing, like last year when we found our guy Jack Sanborn as an undrafted free agent, again, Poles and company uncovers talent where everyone else looked past him. He was an undrafted free agent. Poles and company finds this talent and gets it without using a draft pick, and legit, this guy is our backup quarterback, earned the job over two veterans.
Right.
Earned it. He
Yeah.
didn't get given that job.
Not at all.
He took it.
Not at all. And that's what the talk was. The people watching the games, checking in, giving their feedback. That was pretty much a consensus. You get what I'm saying, across the board, that he earned it. He went out there and got it. So I'm happy about that. Moving to the running back room, we got who we got Donta Foreman. How does he pronounce his name? Because
I think he's pronounced it Deontay.
I thought so too. I'm bad with names, man. So forgive me on we're talking Bears, because
It's not
and
phonetic. It's
it's
not
not.
phonetic.
But you know what? And just to segue for a minute, in sports, man, and you have to, once you get to be really good, they start pronouncing your name right. I remember Peja Stojakovic was pre-drag when he first came into the NBA, and it was like, okay, but once he started hitting all those threes, they're like, this guy's really good. We need to start saying his name the right way.
There
Right.
you go.
So, all right, we got Deontay Foreman, Khalil Herbert, Travis Homer, and Roshan Johnson. What do you think about it? We lost.
I feel good about that running back room. I'm not a big Travis Homer fan, but hey, he earned a spot.
Yeah.
The first three, the crazy thing is any one of those guys could start. I mean, Khalil Herbert, he had most yards per carry in the NFL, so he is the starter by right.
Right.
But if Deontay Foreman or Roshan Johnson were starting, I'm not mad.
I'm not
Those
either.
guys run hard.
I agree. I agree. And I actually like Roshan Johnson a whole lot. I know, like you said, Herbert has got it. That's his spot to lose. But I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do, specifically Roshan Johnson. He's kind of the guy I'm looking forward to kind of be, I don't want to say a sleeper, because we all know he's talented. But with having Deontay Foreman that was picked up, and Khalil Herbert already, him being the third back that we had, picked in the draft, I expect him to do more than a third back on a team. I think our running back room is nice. I can resonate with you on the Travis Homer, but hey, I feel like if he's running behind these guys, and that's the type of energy we have in there, maybe posing them like other times know something I don't know, and they've uncovered some talent, and he just needs to be given the opportunity. So either way, man, I'm excited about the offense. I mean, we're gonna keep going down this list here. I'm excited. Oh, can't forget our boy, the fullback. It's part of that room too. Curry
Ari
Blasingame
Blasingame.
is part of that room too. I'm
Hey,
excited we kept him. I'm excited that they're still heavily committed to running the ball. It's not like we got Justin Fields, we went and got receivers, and now we're just gonna be throw crazy. They still clearly are dedicated to running the football. So I'm excited about that. Curry Blasingame being a full. What are they gonna do with us this year now that Justin Fields has weapons as a receiver? He has a nice running back room. He himself was setting records last year, and probably would have set a new record if he would have played the last game. And you have somebody like Blasingame, who just for extra embarrassment and insult, to add insult to injury, as they say, you throw him in there and let him knock some guys out too, as we keep running the ball down the field.
hey, I like Blasingame one because he's a pancake artist, man.
Right.
He's pancaking guys. We need to like do a gif of him with some syrup, pouring it on these guys he pancakes. He's I love that, man. That's
Yeah,
to me, that's what football's about. You're on offense. Go level somebody,
right,
flatten them out, and let them know you're here to lead block, and that's just beautiful. I think with an improved offensive line, he's going to get even more opportunities to wipe somebody out. But I also like, what was that? The first play of the I think it was the first play of the preseason. They throw a pass to him out of the backfield, and that's something we haven't used. That's one
right,
of his talents. He can catch
right,
and run with the ball. And that just makes it even more, because just because he's back there and you think he's going to block, he can chip a guy on his way out, take the ball, and turn it upfield.
right, right. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm excited about these changes we've made. I feel like Fields is going to have weapons. I mean, now it's almost just like, come out here and produce. We put people around you. And of course, there's still areas of improvement always. But hey, I'm expecting them to do great things. The receiver room, the final receiver room, Chase Claypool, Velus Jones Jr., Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, Unquinemius St. Brown, and Tyler Scott. What do you think?
Hey, think about the past. Like EQ was our number two. And then even at one point when Mooney went down was
There
our
you
number
go.
one.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
you take a guy that was the number one, and he's now the number five. You've changed the receiver room.
Right.
Your talent level is so much higher. I mean, Claypool better than EQ. DJ Moore better than EQ. We knew Mooney was better than EQ. You're working your way up. I'm hoping. I don't think Velas is the returnment, but if he can, he had phenomenal numbers as a receiver and as a gadget guy getting the ball. He had, I think, something like 200 yards and a touchdown on a handful, less than 20 carries, maybe it was 15 or 16, and that's just phenomenal. If I can give you the ball 40 times or 50 times a season, whether it's a handoff or a toss, and you can come back with, a half dozen or, eight touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's it's not fair. And then you're not talking about what DJ Moore, Mooney, Komet, all these other guys, Herbert, all these other
Right.
guys are going to contribute. This is a guy way down on the depth chart
Right.
that you have to game plan for when he shows up because he can just throw a touchdown on the board from doing he touches the ball once and he gets 50 yards. He's
Right.
just he's very dangerous. They need to continue to script things to get him the ball once a quarter. Just that's it. Just give him the ball, put the ball in his hand once a quarter. You
Right.
don't have to get it a lot. Let him get 4 touches a game, couple runs, couple passes, and that's gonna hurt a team.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. What we got on the tight end? The tight end, Cole Kmet, Mercedes Lewis, and Robert Tanyan. No surprises there. No surprises there. Man, man, man. And I
That
remember
that
last year, I'm expecting Komet to benefit also from having other weapons out there to benefit extremely from the O line. Man,
you saw last year, like when Chase Claypool showed up, although he wasn't big on production, but just because you had to
yeah,
cover him,
absolutely.
Komet's numbers went through the roof.
What was it? 5 touchdowns in 3 games or something like that.
Yeah,
He did.
something like, yeah, 5 touchdowns in 3 games. And what is he going to look like when they have to double cover DJ Moore
Yeah, yeah.
and with Darnell out there?
And you
What
got to
is
worry that
that going
Justin
to look
Fields
like?
isn't just going to run all over you anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think Fields runs when it's wide open, and if it's not, I think he lets the ball go.
I agree.
And that's going to be devastating. And I like the fact that we're using a lot of screens in preseason. We need to. Forte used to make a living. Peyton, all
Yeah,
of those guys made a living. The Bears made a living on screens. And we have a very active offensive line who gets out and runs and does zone blocking. Let them get out there and knock somebody silly and open up I mean, the screen for us is a devastating play for the other team.
right, right. Yeah. And let's talk about this O line now.
This old line.
Right. So we got Larry Bourne, Jatir Carter, Nate Davis, Dan Feeney, Tevin Jenkins, Braxton Jones, Doug Kramer, Lucas Patrick, Cody Whitehair, and the extremely coveted pick, Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright.
Hey, I mean, you start with the pick. So
Right.
you make all these trades, you get all this capital, you get DJ Moore, and then let's flat out, you got the best tackle in best rookie tackle that's out there. I'm people say, oh, he's not a left tackle. He's played left tackle. He went up in the SEC against the toughest pass rushers, guys that went early in that first round, many of them ahead of him, and none of them got a sack against him, not one.
Right.
And that's what we picked up. Then you talk about picking up the new. I forgot what was a free. What's his name? The new guy we just picked up. Free. Is it?
Who was that?
It's the new guy. We just picked him up. My bad. Do 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 do. Dan Freeney. Dan Freeney.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just traded
I
for him.
just
Poles is still active.
okay.
Just traded for him. We had so many injuries.
Right.
Poles trades for this guy. This guy started 2 years at guard and 1 year at center. Made every game healthy for the Chargers.
Right.
What are you going to say?
Right.
You know, he ended up being a backup when he went to the Jets, but he started several games. But this guy's, that's our replacement for Sam Mustipher.
Right.
And that is a serious upgrade from Sam Mustipher. And y'all know I like Sam, even though he was,
We know I
he
get
was a UDFA that wasn't great. He was serviceable, but he was good at run blocking.
right. Yeah.
We were the best run offense out there with Musty.
Yeah.
But it was time to move on, and we definitely got a much better guy to back up our guys. And so that just brings more talent. So what are you gonna say? I mean, and then we get Nate Davis. We haven't even really seen him play.
Right.
We haven't seen him do anything. So
Right.
we're waiting to see what the big free agent haul is.
Right.
Man, and Tev is injured again. But I think that's why he got this Freeney guy, because Freeney played his first 3 years, never not a single major injury, started every game. Got to have a guy like that.
Right.
So Tev's great, but Tev's body doesn't hold up.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And Larry Borum, what do you think? Not Larry Borum. Sorry, Braxton Jones. What are you thinking about Brax?
Oh man, I'm ready. He's gonna be a dog. I'm ready. Braxton Jones, I like. I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like this year, I feel like offense is not gonna be our issue. I mean, even last year we were extremely competitive with a terrible offensive line, which let me not say terrible because we were the number one run team, but I think that still didn't mean we had a great offensive line. But now I feel like now what teams are gonna have to worry about is being able to keep up with us as far as the production that we'll have out of our offense. So I feel like if our defense can be serviced, if we can be kind of like middle of the road on defense, I think we're going to be a hard team for anybody to beat.
I think we can. I think we're going to be able to compete. I mean, week 3 we got Kansas City. That's going to be a dogfight.
Right.
I don't think I don't feel like we get blown out. I'm not saying we're on Kansas City's level, but I am saying I'm glad we catch them early in the season.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think they're going to know they were in a football game.
Right.
Right. I don't see, I don't see us. I mean, think about with the team we had last year, we went toe to toe with the Eagles.
Right.
We couldn't finish the deal, but we fought. I think we can get in there and fight with Kansas City. I'm not saying we're going to beat Kansas City, but I don't think it's going to be a boring, sad affair where we're, depressed.
I hope not, because that would be terrible. But I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I feel like really what I'm most interested in seeing in that is how our defense fares against them, because I feel like our offense, even though we might not score every time, but I feel like our offense is going to be tough. And I feel like when maybe one thing isn't maybe a mismatch on that particular game, or we have so many options, you know what I mean? So I think as long as we strategize, as long as we have good play calling, our offense is going to be tough. You know what I mean? So I just
I
want to see
agree
how
with
our defense can fare against teams like the Chiefs. Is really what my concern is. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my
you.
big.
Yeah, no, I think our offense is going to be tough, and I think the defense will be serviceable. Again, I don't see us falling out of the top 8 teams as far as running the ball, even though we're going to throw more. I think with the running crew we have, we're going to be able to move the rock. And that just sets up, exciting pass. If it's 2nd and 3 and you got Justin Fields and he drops back, if you blitz everybody, DJ Moore's open. And if you don't blitz everybody, then Justin can sit back and take his time. Neither solution is good for your team.
Right. Right.
So, and just because you blitz everybody doesn't mean you're going to get to Justin.
And let's be real, he was turning broken plays into touchdowns last year. If you don't send everybody, he can easily just walk to the first down and figure out on the next play.
And if you do send everybody, he's faster than everybody you sent. So if he gets out of that pocket, let's say you send 6 and you're like, yeah, we're going to overload. We're going to send 6. Somebody's going to get through. He's shaking off defensive ends before. If he gets out of that pocket, none of those 6 guys are catching.
Nope.
So now you've got people out there who can run block, and Justin Fields versus 5 guys on a wide open field. You might not even need a block.
You might not even need a block.
You might not even need a
block.
You seen him. And then DJ Moore's the same way. We saw him on that first play. We saw him catch the ball for the Bears. He outran the entire defense too.
Right.
He just took off, and there were 4 guys parallel with him when he took off. And within 10 yards, they were out of range to dive.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing. I can't wait to see this offense. I can't wait to see it hurt the Packers. Right. I want us to drop 35 on the
Packers. Let's do it. Yep. And I don't see it's our division this year.
For sure. Hey, well, I'm Uncle.
Now I'm Nephew.
And we're talking Bears.